I think Sandil will come. Right. Right. Lamai government intervention to pre-markets. Right. Puta, pre-market mean only consumers and producers there. Only consumers and producers there. Right. Example lamai price, quantity, every product has a demand, right? There's a demand for every product, demand curve, and also lamai supply of the product. This is supply curve. Okay, lamai. Then equilibrium price and quantity are determined by demand and supply forces. Okay, lamai. This is called equilibrium price. Equilibrium price, assume lamai. Equilibrium price is 100 rupees, quantity 1000 metric tons. Okay, lamai. In this market, only there are two parties, right? Consumers and producers. Okay, the market price and quantity, equilibrium price and quantity are determined by both consumers and producers. Okay, the lamai. Okay, then we have discussed how this equilibrium change and consumer surplus, producer surplus, excess demand, excess supply, elasticity, everything for only these two forces, lamai. Right? These are active forces. That is a word, active forces, lamai. Okay, right. Now, lamai, up to now, the market contains two parts. Now, lamai, government is about to come. Right? Now, lamai, government is going to come to this market. Okay, the lamai. After government intervention, lamai, mainly there are three parties in this market, lamai. Who are the parties, lamai? Consumers, producers, and government, lamai. Okay, this lesson basically focuses on the government intervention, lamai. How government intervenes to free market. Free market mean lamai the market in which demand and supply forces operate. Okay, the lamai. Right. Lamai, in your syllabus, according to economic ideologies, remember this price is, yes, it's 100% better. Okay, the lamai. This is the most suitable price for this product because both consumers and producers have decided this price, lamai. Okay, so this is the good price. But lamai, sometimes this price may not be socially fair price. Okay, the lamai. It may not be, it not fair for everyone sometimes. Okay, the lamai. And quantity also. That's why government intervenes to the market. Okay, when government thinks that this free market equilibrium price is not fair or equilibrium quantity is not good, that too much or right, too much, then government comes to the market, lama. In your syllabus, lama, mainly, right, we need to discuss 3 government interventions, lama. First one is taxes. First one is taxes. Here taxes mean indirect taxes, right? There are 2 parts of taxes, lamai. Here we pay our attention on indirect taxes. Second one, lamai, is subsidies. Second one is subsidies. Third one is lamai, price control policy. Price control policies. Price control policies. These are the mainly main areas we need to discuss in this lesson. Okay, what are the 3 areas, lamai? Number 1, taxes, heavy part. Okay, it's mean if government imposes indirect taxes on products like VAT, okay, the lamai, excise duties, okay, what happens to the market, lamai, right? How do equilibrium price, quantity, consumer surplus, producer surplus, government tax revenue change? Okay, the lamai, taxes, then subsidies, right? Then price control policies, lamai, mainly price control policies. Again, there are 2 parts, lamai. Number 1, you might have learned maximum price and minimum price. Maximum price and minimum price. Maximum price and minimum price. Okay, the lamai, this is the, okay, at the end of this lesson, lamai, you should be able to manage this all areas, lamai, right? This is the introduction part to the lesson. Then lamai, today I'm going to start taxes. Today I'm going to start taxes, lamai. Okay, I think I have given you the tute. Okay, only for taxes, lamai. Okay, I'll send other part by tomorrow. Yes. Okay, right. Any doubt, lamai? Sitma, Ayatmi, Punara?
No, sir.
No. Right. Right. Okay, lamai. Taxes. Sitma, how to define a tax? Hmm? What is mean by a tax? Hurry up, lamai. Sitma, tax. Government revenue, yes, generation method. Okay. What else? Tax. Right. Lamai, tax mean is a legal payment. Okay. Which is imposed by government based on its power. Okay, the lamai. Remember, tax is a legal payment which cannot be avoided. Remember. Okay. If you're, the first two, I mean, if you have to pay a tax, lamai, to the government, it's an unavoidable payment, lamai. Okay. You cannot avoid paying taxes. Understand? Tax mean it's a legal payment. Legal payment. Okay, that people, sometimes companies and other economic parties must pay to the government. Understand? Right? This is called taxes. Okay, the lamai taxes will be, this lesson will be discussed in detail in grade 13 syllabus lamai. There's a separate lesson for taxes, type of taxes and different things, right? Okay, let me explain lamai the structure of taxes. Uda, there are two parts. Taxes, there are two parts. Number one, direct and indirect. Direct taxes and indirect taxes. Every country, lamai, remember, every country. What did you say, Buddha? No, we just started Sandeep. I'm talking about direct taxes and indirect taxes. Government intervention, there are three types of government intervention in your syllabus: taxes, subsidies, and price control policies. Now I have just started taxes. Okay, right. Direct and indirect. Putha, what is the difference between these two? Every country has these two categories of taxes. Anyone? Direct, indirect. Mana kiyan lamai? Direct taxes. What is the main difference between these two? Sitma, Ayatmi, Sandil. What the difference එක ළමයි? Direct taxes, indirect taxes. Oh my God, no idea. Right. Put that direct taxes mainly imposed on people wealth. People wealth. Wealth mean lamai income, right? Then company profit and properties. Properties. Okay, the lamai. Direct taxes are imposed by the government on people wealth. Okay, the lamai. Wealth mean income, profit of companies, businesses, and especially properties. Okay, the lamai. Example: income tax, personal income tax. Second one is corporate tax lamai. Okay, your H answer will be doing the corporate tax part. Company accounts lamai. Then lamai property taxes. Okay, sometimes government imposes taxes on property, the values of properties lamai. Okay, these are called property taxes. Then remember lamai, simple way, direct taxes are imposed on wealth of people. Putha, indirect taxes are imposed on, remember forever, on goods and services. Goods and services. Goods and services. This is the main difference between these two taxes, lamai. Right? Direct are imposed based on people wealth. Direct, indirect on goods and services. Okay, the lamai. There is another key difference between these two. Remember forever. Putha, direct taxes cannot be shifted to another party. Okay, the lamai. I'll come to this point. Indirect taxes can be shifted. Can be shifted to another party. Here, another party means consumer lamai. Consumer. Example lamai, tariff. Very common one. Okay, the taxes which are imposed by the government on foreign products lamai. Example, the vehicles lamai. Okay, when importing vehicles from Japan, we have to pay a tax. It's more than 100% lamai. That is called tariff. Okay, the lamai. Then the importer, what importer? Right. Then final lamai, importer, the person who imports vehicles from Japan, yes, he is liable to pay this tax to the government lamai. He is the liable to pay this tax to the government. But lamai, this importer, assume the tax amount is 20 million, sorry, 20 lakhs or 2 million. Then final lamai, the importer is responsible to pay this 2 million to the government. Yes, he pays this 2 million to the government, but remember my finally this 2 million is added to a final product price lamai. Okay, this 2 million tax is added to the final product price. Then actually lamai, this 2 million tax is borne or incurred by the consumer. That is called shift. Okay, the lamai, the burden is shifted to final consumer. Then final consumer is the final or the party who actually the bears this tax incident. Incident mean lamai tax burden. Okay, the lamai. Okay, can be shifted. What are the examples for indirect taxes lamai in Sri Lanka? Famous one, VAT, excise duties. ඔය තියෙන ළමයි මේ සිගරට් වලට ඇල්කොහොල් වලට ඒවට දාන්න ඒවට කියන අපි excise duty. හරිද? මේ other main one is ළමයි tariff. tariff දාන්න international මොකද්ද මේ imports වලට tariff. මේ ඔක්කොම ළමයි consumer shift කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? import හරි businessman හරි යා මොකද කරන්නේ? final එයා pay කරනවා. හැබැයි finally amount එක product price එකට add කරලා ඔක ගන්න consumer ගෙන් ළමයි. එහෙනම් මේවට කියනවා indirect taxes. But remember my direct taxes cannot be shifted. Cannot be shifted. Cannot be shifted. Example lamai Sitma is liable to pay income tax of 200,000 to the government based on Sitma's higher income lamai. Then you cannot shift your tax amount to another party lamai. Understand? Right? Actually, you have to bear the tax burden. Okay, you cannot shift your tax amount or tax burden to another party lamai. Remember, okay, you are liable to pay the tax amount, and also you are the person, okay, who need to incur actual tax burden now. Okay, the lamai, this is the main difference between direct and indirect. මොනවා issue එකක් තියෙනවද ළමයි? ආය අමතක කරන්න බෑ හොඳේ. direct indirect. හරිද? direct mean imposed on wealth. Examples: income tax, property taxes, and company. If you want, write this down. Right, these are the examples for indirect taxes. Direct taxes lamai, number one is income tax, personal income tax. Other one is corporate tax. Other one is property taxes. Okay, the lamai. පුතා මොකක් හරි issue එකක් තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න. අවුලක් නෑ නේද? ඉතලා මේක දැනගන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් ඔක්කොම නා ගන්නවා ළමයි. හරිද? time ඕනද ඔයාලට? Do you need more time? Yes. Shall I move on? මේ ළමයි කතා කරන්නෙත් නෑ. One person directly.
Sir, please give few minutes.
Yes.
Few minutes to write this one.
Okay. From which category does Sri Lankan government earn more tax revenue? From direct part or indirect part? As you think? Indirect Sitma. Okay, Sri Lankan government earns 82% from indirect taxes, direct taxes 18%. Okay, the is a big problem in Sri Lanka. Why? More indirect taxes mean these taxes are added to final product price. That's why the prices of goods and services are higher than other countries. I mean, one of reasons, right? There are so many reasons. One reason could be more indirect taxes. That composition should be changed, but unfortunately has been. Right. VAT, that means my value added tax. Second one is excise duties. Excise duties mean lamai the taxes imposed by government, especially on cigarettes, liquor, and motor vehicles. Motor vehicles mean not tariff. Huh? Tariff means a tax which is imposed by the government at the point of importing lamai. Okay, the lamai. Try to come to the class, okay, uh, rather than watching recordings lama. It's 100% better, remember, better than watching videos lama. If you come to the class lama, you can do something yourself. That is a difference between this class and other classes lama. You can do, because few students here, you can do something yourself. You can make mistakes lama. Okay, right. Let me know once you're done. Can't see properly. Oh my god. Done. Right. Sitma, can you send the photo to the group? Photo of this knot?
Okay, sir.
Kandil says cannot see the board. Okay, the lamai. Right. Okay, lamai. Then let's. Okay. Put that here in this lesson. I mean, government intervention lesson. Remember, lamai. We pay our attention on indirect taxes, not the direct taxes. Right? Don't me get wrong. Okay. We pay our attention on indirect taxes. Taxes imposed on goods and services, lamai. Okay. Direct part will be discussed later on in grade 30. Okay, the lamai. Right. Then this lesson focuses what lamai? Direct taxes. Okay. Right. Then lamai mainly. Okay. Let's move to cute. Look at the screen I'm sharing, lamai. Right. What is an indirect tax? Indirect taxes are levied by the government on, lamai highlight on what? Goods and services. Okay, the lamai. Even though legally the tax is enforced on producers, producers are able to shift. Highlight this point also. Producers are able to shift tax burden. Burden mean lamai like this. A disadvantage. Tax mean lamai it's additional, cost. Finally, shift to the tax burden to a third party. Third party mean consumer lamai. Okay, the lamai. Right. Then lamai, example, value added tax, excise duties, tariff, etc. Okay, the lamai. Then indirect taxes can be implemented on producers or buyers. Producers or buyers. Lama, in your level, we discuss taxes on producers, Lama, not on buyers. Remember this part also, right? Mainly based on two types of tax rates, Lamai. Remember, Putama indirect taxes, there are two parts again. I mean, indirect taxes can be imposed based on, two methods. That is a word. Two methods. Indirect taxes, again, there are two parts, Lamai. හරිද? දැන් මේ සයිඩ් එක අපිට ඕනේ නෑ ළමයි හොඳේ. Forget it. For only this lesson, right? Then only indirect taxes. Indirect taxes also there are two parts, lamai. Some indirect taxes are imposed on consumers, some on producers. But in your syllabus, lamai, remember it focuses only taxes on producers. Okay, taxes on producers, indirect taxes which are imposed on producers. Okay, the lamai. Indirect taxes, again there are two parts. First one is lamai unit tax, or we can say specific tax. Specific tax. Harida lamai. Second one is ad valorem. Ad tax. Okay, the lamai. The main difference between Puta in your syllabus, remember, calculations are done based on unit tax. Right? In this lesson, lamai, we are going to discuss only unit tax or specific tax in detail with maths and graphs and everything. Ad valorem part is not going to be discussed in detail in A-level syllabus. But remember forever, lamai, you need to know the difference between these two. I'll repeat. There are two parts of taxes, lamai. Indirect taxes, unit and ad valorem. Okay, the lamai. Ad valorem tax is not going to be discussed in detail in your level, but you should know the difference between. Okay, the lamai. Simple way, lamai, unit tax mean these tax are imposed on number of units, lamai. Example, we can say, government can say, lamai, 50 rupee tax on one cigarette sold or one cigarette produced, like that. 50 rupees tax, right, for each product, each unit of liquor or whatever. Okay, the lamai. Here the specific amount on one unit, this is called unit tax. Okay, 30 rupee tax on one unit of sugar produce, like that. Okay, the lamai, this is called unit tax. But the ad valorem tax mean is a percentage. It's a percentage. Example, lamai, tax rate, lamai. Now this from October onwards, this year, October onwards, lamai, the government expects to implement 18% tax or VAT rate on digital services, lamai. Like this online platform, lamai, Daras, Pygmy, Uber. Okay, the lamai, like that, 18%. Okay, then this is a percentage, lamai. Percentage on sales. Government says, okay, producer, you can pay 10% of your sales to the government. Here, specific amount on one unit, lamai. Here is a percentage. That is the main difference between these two. Unit tax and ad valorem tax, lamai. Simple way, remember, ad valorem means a percentage. Any doubt? Any doubt, lamai? Punara?
No, sir.
Right. Then Okay. Right. Then next point. Can you see the screen, Lamai? Yes. Yes. Right. What does a unit tax or specific tax mean? Unit tax, often referred to a specific as a specific tax, is a levy. Levy mean like a tax, Lamai, like it's a payment imposed on a highlight, Lamai, per unit basis, rather than on the value of goods and services. Here, the tax base is number of units produced or sold. Example, Lamai, a tax of 50 on 500 milliliter sugary drinks, right? A tax of 100 rupees per 20 pack of cigarettes, ළමයි. මේ බලන්න එතනට රේට් එකක් නෑ ළමයි. Specific amount එකක් තියෙන. මේවට කියනවා unit taxes. Okay ද ළමයි? Right. Next one. How does ad valorem එක ඔයාලට ad valorem you should remember the difference between ad valorem tax and specific. I have not given that part. Uda, can you just mention the difference which is on my board, right? This one. Unit tax mean it is imposed based on the 1 unit lamai. Ad valorem mean it's a percentage of total value of sales. It's a percentage of total value of sale. Okay the lamai. Product note එකක් දාගන්න. Right. මම revision එක sir I impose both tariff and VAT on imports. නෑ පුතා tariff VAT කියන්නේ import products වලට අපි දාන්නේ tariff. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක මේ අර බෝඩ් එක ක්‍රොස් කරනකොට තේරුණාද? VAT දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒ හැබැයි අර ඇතුළට ආවට පස්සේ. දෙකම තියෙනවා. The tariff is imposed at the point of importing. Right? When the product comes to the Sri Lankan border. Yeah, VAT can be added. But tariff and VAT are totally different. Indirect taxes, but different purpose. Purpose is different. Okay, the lamai, right? Okay, lamai. Then our study lies on indirect taxes. Sorry, unit taxes. Right. Next point. So that listen this part very carefully, lamai. Okay, this is the starting point of bid calculation, lamai. Understand? Right? Understand without memorizing everything, lamai. Okay, try to understand the logic behind this. Then you can do any question, lamai, any complicated question without any problem. Okay, so take time. Okay, to get the idea. It's okay. Okay, there's no any rush. Take time to get the idea, lamai, and send it your the head, lamai. Okay, right. Then lamai, how does specific tax affect market supply? How does a specific tax affect market supply? Okay, let's discuss this part, lamai. Then you can see, lamai, there's a table. Samdil, what is it? What is this table? Price, one column price, other column quantity supplied. What is this, lamai? This is a supply schedule, right? Table showing prices and the corresponding quantity supplied, lamai. Okay. Here lamai no tax. Okay. Puta, here what does it mean? Example, at price for supply is 50 units. What does it mean, Sitma? I'm talking about this point. Page number 2, last table. What does it mean, Lamai? Right, I'll use my whiteboard. It's better. Look at the board. Hari. Lamai. How do value change, Lamai? 450, 800. Right, look at the board, Lamai. Price, quantity supplied. At price for quantity supply is 50 units. Sigma, what does it mean? Sandil, Unara, Ayatmi. What does this point mean? I would like to hear your voice, Lama. Yes, say something. Yes.
QDO QS
Huh?
quantity demand or quantity supply.
Sorry, this is not demand. Oh, I'm sorry. Quantity supplied. QS. Lama, yes, we can say at price for 50 units are going to be supplied. But here real meaning is, Lama, remember, suppliers are willing and able to supply 50 units. Suppliers are willing to supply 50 units, no issue. But remember, Lamai, supplier expects at least minimum 4 rupees per unit, Lamai. What does it mean, Lamai? Puta, this price shows the minimum expectation. Remember, to supply 50 units, supplier wants minimum 4 rupees per unit, not for 50 units, right? Per unit. Did you get the point, Lamai? Then Lamai, supplier is willing to supply 100 units, no issue. But supplier expects a price more than 4 rupees. 8. What does it mean, Lamai? Supplier is willing to supply 100 units at price 8, Lamai. If price 8 is not given to supplier, Lamai, supplier won't understand. This is called minimum expectation or variable cost. We say variable cost. Right, then Lamai, suppliers are willing to supply 150 units. He expects minimum 12. Minimum 12. He says that, okay, I'll supply 150 units. I can supply or I can send 150 units to the market, but my minimum expectation is 12 rupees per unit, Lamai. Okay. Then next point, they are willing to supply 200 units, but minimum price is 16 rupees. Understand? Right? Remember, Lamai, the supply schedule shows minimum price or minimum expectation of supplier for each quantities, Lamai. Right? Different quantities. Did you get the point, Lamai? Right. Here no tax. Here no tax, Lamai. Okay. Right. Now read the point. Now something is going to change. Any doubt, Lamai?
No, sir.
No. Right. Now read the point, Lamai. Okay. Assume that government has imposed, Lamai, ED. imposed. ED, imposed a specific tax. Specific tax mean lama unit tax of 4 rupees on every unit of production. After specific tax, the supply schedule changes as follows. Lama. Okay, right. Now what happens, Lamai? Government imposes 4 rupees on every unit, Lamai. Government imposes 4 rupee unit tax on every unit. Now, Lamai, this supply schedule is going to change. Price before tax, unit tax, price after tax, quantity. Right. Look at the board. Price before tax, P before tax. Okay, the Lamai. Then unit tax. Then price after tax. Sorry, after tax. Last one, Lamai, quantity supply. Last one, quantity supply. Okay, the Lamai. Look at the board. Look at press point, Lamai. Price before tax, 4. Okay. At price 4, Lamai, suppliers are willing to supply 50 units. No any issue. Okay, the Lamai. This is the minimum price expected by supplier. Now, Lamai, government asks or government says, producer, okay, producer, now hereafter, if you sell 1 unit, you are able to pay 4 rupees to the government, Lamai. Okay, the Lamai. Then it's essential to pay 4 rupees to the government. Remember. Okay. Then these are indirect taxes, Lamai. Okay, the Lamai. Then unit tax is 4 rupees. Okay. Then Lamai, what producers do is they add this tax to the original price. Okay, the Lamai. Then price after tax equal original price plus tax, Lamai, unit tax. Then Lamai, 4 plus 4. Now Lamai, price after tax is 8 rupees. Puta, what does it mean? That's the important point. Sitma, what does it mean? Now Lamai, suppliers are willing to supply 50 units, but not at 4 rupees, Lamai. He expects minimum 8 rupees. Why? Because 4 rupees need to be paid to the government, Lamai. That's why this minimum expectation has increased by unit tax. Okay, the Lamai. Then earlier, before tax, Lamai, 100 units are going to be supplied at 8 rupees. Now, Lamai, 8 is not enough. Okay, the Lamai. Now, supply expects more than that, Lamai. Plus 4, it's mean 12. Right? Supplier will be supplying 100 units at price 12. After tax, before tax, 8. Okay, the Lamai. Then, before tax, Lamai, 150 units. Suppliers are willing to supply 150 units. 150 units at price 12, but now 12 is not enough, Lamai. Now he expects how much, Lamai? 16 rupees. Okay, the Lamai. Then final conclusion is, Lamai, remember, minimum expectation of supplier or supplier increases in the minimum expectation of supplier increases by the unit tax. By the unit tax. Puta, complete the table. By the unit tax. Okay, Lamai, any doubt? Simple idea is, Lamai, now producer expects additional 4 rupees from consumer, Lamai. Puta, hari do alaga, make clear do alaga. Sitma, Punara, Ayatmi, are you there? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Then Lamai, now the schedule is okay. Now you know how to make adjustments at your table. Now second one is Lamai supply curve is very important Lamai. Everything depends on this supply curve. Kuda complete this table. Complete this table. Then second one is the impact of unit tax is represented by using a graph. Here Lamai, we need to draw two supply curves, is mean before tax and after tax. Use your original table Lamai. Okay, I want you to draw both curves on a one diagram Lamai. Did you get the point? Yes. Right, I'll do it Lamai. Both curves on a one diagram. Do you need more time Lamai? Write this down next to the table. The minimum expectation of supplier increases by the unit tax. If unit tax is 10 rupees Lamai, the minimum expectation or what producers expect from the market, I mean price, rises by 10 rupees. Okay, right. Do you need more time? I think it's enough, right? Yes. Yes, the Lamai. Right.
Yes, sir.
Do you need more time or finish? Done.
Done, sir.
Done. Right. Then Lamai, two supply curves. Two supply curves. Right. Look at the board. Price, quantity supplied, 0. I'll mark price axis 4 by 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Quantity 50 by 50. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Now I need answers, right? I'm going to draw the original supply curve. Before taxes, Lamai, supplier is willing to supply 50 units at price 4. Supplier is willing to supply 100 units at price 8. Supplier is willing to supply 150 units, expecting 12 rupees each. Okay, the Lamai. Then 200 units at price 16 Lamai. This is the supply curve before tax. Okay, the Lamai. S curve before tax. Before tax. Now Lamai, supply curve after tax. Look at the board Lamai. I'll give you time to draw it. Look at the board. Now Lamai, look at the board. Producers are willing to supply 50 units, but not at price 4 Lamai. They expect minimum 8 rupees. Okay, it means Lamai, now to supply 50 units, the expected price is 8 rupees. Here is the point. Okay, the Lamai. Second one. Now, they are willing to supply 100 units, no issue. They are ready to supply, but the minimum expectation is 12 rupees Lamai, right? Then 100 units, yes, will be supplied at price not 8 Lamai, at 12. Then you can see this minimum 150 units will be supplied at price 16. You can see Lamai, this minimum expectation increases by the unit tax. What is this curve Lamai? It's also supply curve. Look at the board Lamai, I'll give you time to draw it. Look at the board, right? S2. Here supply curve shifts to left side Lamai. Supply curve shifts to left side. This is S2 after tax. After tax. Look at the board Lamai. Then what is the final conclusion? Puta, if government imposes a unit tax, remember, If government imposes a unit tax, your supply curve, market supply curve shift to the left side by unit tax lamai. Okay, here lamai, vertical distance between two supply curves. Here lamai, how much the gap is? Sigma, here 8, here 12. How much the gap is?
4 rupees.
4 rupees lamai. 4 mean our unit tax. Remember this gap equals to unit tax. Here lamai, gap is 4 rupees. Gap equals to 4 rupees lama, unit tax. Here also 4 rupees. Gap equals to 4 rupees. If tax was 8 rupees lama, the supply curve would shift to left side by 8 rupees lama. Understand? Then final conclusion is lama, next to the diagram you can write down supply curve, market supply curve shifts to the left by the amount of unit tax, and also lamai, remember these two curves are parallel lamai. Remember these two curves are parallel. These two curves never intersect. Okay the lamai, remember these two curves are parallel. Okay, right, now you can draw it lamai. If you have any question, ask me. Remember lamai, supply curve shift to the left side by unit tax lamai. ඔය 2016 question එක මෙතනින් ඇහුවේ lamai. ඒ කියන්නේ ළමයිට මේ point එක දන්නේ නැත්නම් supply curve shift to the left side එක හරි, but by unit tax ඒක දන්නේ නැත්නම් ළමයි ලොකු වෙලාවක් ගන්නවා calculation කරන්න ළමයි. තේරුණා? ඒ කියන්නේ අර මේ මාර වටිනා හැම point එකක්ම ළමවට එකක්වත් අතාරින්න බෑ. තේරුණාද? right. මොනවා issue එකක් තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න. base එක හරියට දාගන්න ළමයි. එතකොට නැති. Sudha, let me know if you're done. Yes.
Done, sir.
Right. Others, Lamai? Done. Good. Then remember, Lamai, I'll repeat. After imposing a unit tax, market supply curve shift to the left side by the amount of unit tax, Lamai. If unit tax is 10 rupees, your supply curve shift to the left side by unit tax. And also, Lamai, remember vertical distance between two supply curves equals the value of unit tax. These are the key points you need to remember. Key mean I key mo tamay lamay, okay? Right. Okay. Right. Then lamay next point. Right. Then graph is okay. Puta, according to the above graph, you can write down what I have written on the board. The supply curve shift to the left side by the amount of unit tax. Another main one is lamai. The vertical distance between two supply curves is equal the amount of unit tax lamai. Okay, here complete those points. Number one is supply curve shift to the left side by the amount of unit tax. Second one is lamai. The vertical distance between two supply curves. The vertical distance between two supply curves equals unit tax. Okay, the lamai. By shall we move on, lamai? The equation. Yes. Okay. Then lamai, your market supply equation also changes after the imposition of unit tax lamai. Okay, it's simple lamai. Right. Write down the how equation changes. Uta, how to derive your original supply equation? Can you remember? Original supply equation. QS equals QS equals QS equals අද ළමයි මතක නැද්ද original supply equation එක very good. QS equals A plus BP. Puta, this supply equation changes a bit. After the tax lamai, QS equals A plus BP minus tax. I'll show you why this amount is deducted. Okay, this is the equation for supply equation after the tax. Write this down. This is the original one, lamai. We have already learned this original. This is a supply equation after tax. This is supply equation after tax. Okay, the lamai B within bracket P minus T. If tax is 4 rupees lamai, then minus T for 4 rupees. Okay, the lamai. Right. Write it down. Then I think there are some calculations. Yes. Yeah. Next point lamai by equation. Okay. Example number one. Example number one. Assume the supply curve of a particular product traded in a market is QS equal 200 plus 10p. If government imposes 5 rupee unit tax on this product, derive the supply equation after the unit tax. Simple lamai. Original is given 200 plus 10p. Okay, the lamai. Original supply equation given QS equals 200 plus 10p. Now lamai QS equals 200 plus 10 minus, sorry, P minus tax. Okay, the lamai. Then QS equals 200 plus 10 into P minus tax is how much lamai? 5 rupees. Okay, the lamai. Then remove the brackets. QS equals 200 plus 10 into P, 10P lamai plus minus minus 50. The new equation should be lamai QS equals 150 plus 10P. Okay, the lamai 150 plus 10P. This is the supply equation after the unit tax. Okay, the lamai after the unit tax. Do next question yourself. Example number 2. Right, derive the supply equation after tax. Yes, good. I got Sigma's one. Yes. Right. Example number 2. Right. Supply equation given. Example number 2. Original market supply equation is QS equals minus 100 plus 5P. This is original one, Lamai. Then how to derive supply equation after the unit tax, Lamai? This is original one, right? QS equals minus 100 plus ayat P into, sorry, price into P, 5 into P minus tax T. QSC equals minus 100 plus 5p minus taxes. How much lamai? 10 rupees. QSC equals minus 100 plus here 5p plus minus minus 50. QSC equals lamai. How much? Minus 150 plus 5. This is the supply equation after the tax. Now your supply equation changes, remember. This is the way of adjusting unit tax to the your original supply equation. Okay, the lamai. Then next part is how does unit tax affect market equilibrium? Putta, this is your original equilibrium. I'm talking about next space. Look at the board lamai. Price, quantity, 0. This is the demand curve. This is the supply curve. Okay, the lamai. This is equilibrium price and quantity. Assume lamai equilibrium price is P1, quantity is Q1. Okay, the lamai. Here no government lamai. Only consumers and producers there. Only consumers and producers. Sorry, consumers and producers there. Yes. Okay, the lamai. Now what happens lamai? Assume government imposes a unit tax lamai of 10 rupees, like this, 10 rupees lamai. Then your supply curve shift to the left side by 10 rupees. Parallel, right? Supply curve shift to the left side by unit tax lamai. This is your new supply curve, Sandil. Your supply curve shift to the left side. Now lamai, this blue line becomes invalid. Okay, because the supply curve is gone. This is the new supply curve, this red one, and demand curve doesn't change lamai. Then you can see there is a new equilibrium lamai. This is a new equilibrium price and quantity. Then lamai, we can say equilibrium price is P2. Sitma, what happens to equilibrium price? Increases. Equilibrium quantity falls. Okay, the lamai. Putta, mark this price as well. I'll explain what it is. Right? This is called, let's say, P naught. This has a separate name. I'll explain it later on. Here, lamai, just remember, soon after government imposes a unit tax lamai, equilibrium price increases from, according to my diagram lamai, P1 to P2. P1 to P2. Then equilibrium quantity falls from Q1 to Q0. That's enough. There are so many impacts on market equilibrium, but just up to now, remember this point. Okay. Anything lamai? Yes. අර ඕකනේ ළමයි මිනිස්සු කියන ටැක්ස් වලට මිනිස්සු බය ඒකනේ ළමයි. මම කියන එක තේරෙනවද? ටැක්ස් එකක් දැම්ම ගම වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයි? The prices of goods and services increase. Equilibrium price increases. Okay, the number of units sold in the market fall. Right. Then lamai, let's move to first example. Do you need more time lamai? Draw this diagram. I'm talking about how does a specific tax affect market equilibrium, this part. Okay, lamai. Then you can draw the graph here. Like this. Then when unit tax imposed, the equilibrium pricing. Okay, the lamai. This is the story, right? That's enough. Then lamai, example number 1. QD given, QS given. Calculate the equilibrium price and quantity. draw the equilibrium situation on a graph. Third one, calculate consumer surplus and producer surplus at equilibrium. Lamai, I'm not going to help you at all. Both plus 3 questions, Lamai. I'll give you 10 minutes, except Ayakmi. Okay, the Lamai. I want you to calculate, I want you to complete plus 3 parts. Equilibrium, original equilibrium price and quantity, equilibrium situation on a graph on a scale. Third one, Lamai, calculate the consumer surplus and producer surplus at equilibrium. Don't attend fourth question, Lamai. Then fourth question says that the government imposes 10 rupee unit tax on this product, Lamai. Okay. Then I'll do these all parts with taxes later on. I'll give you 10 minutes, Lamai. Please complete your press 3 questions properly and send me a photo, Lamai, before we move to next part. Right. Okay, Lamai.
Can do the tute
Huh?
itself now. Can do this question on the tute itself now.
I cannot hear you, son. Sidma.
So we can do this on the tute itself now. There's
Is
space.
enough space there? Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God, it's very simple because you have given everything, Lamai. Okay,
Okay, sir.
this is squares given, then you can draw your graph properly. No need a ruler even, right? Okay. Send me a photo. I ask me if you can give a try. If not, after a few minutes, I'll explain how to do it. Ask me, are you there? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you calculate equilibrium price and quantity? At least.
Yes, sir. I'll
Okay.
try.
Okay. Okay. You can. Yes. Very good. Guys, do you need more time? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Put are these all 3 pages for all calculation, other parts as well. So manage the space. Right, press 1. I'll do it for Ayatmi, right? Otherwise. Okay. Others can do it yourself and send me. Right, first one is calculating equilibrium price and quantity lamai. Simple. Ayatmi at market equilibrium, QD and QS are equal. First part. At equilibrium, QD and QS are equal. Then substitute equation given Ayatmi, QD is 500 minus 10p. QSC equals lamai minus 100 plus 10p. Okay, the lamai. Then simple equation as you did in O level. Then this becomes plus 100 equals 10p minus 10p becomes plus 10p. Okay, the lamai. Then here 20p equals 600. Okay, the lamai. Then divided by 20, divided by 20, price equals 30 rupees. This is the equilibrium price Ayatmi. Then you can substitute this equilibrium price to original, sorry, may demand or supply equation. I'll use demand equation. QD equals 500 minus 10p. QD equals 500 minus 10 into lama equilibrium price is 30 that we have just calculated. Then QD equals I have me 500 minus 10 into 30, 300. Then QD equals lama 200 units. This is the equilibrium quantity. This is equilibrium quantity. This is the answer for first question. Sandil, do you need more time? I got Sigma's one, yes. Good. So the extend the supply curve. Extend the supply curve until it touches quantity axis. Punara. And second step is drawing part ayatmi. Before you draw the graph, lamai calculate. Lamai, you can draw a sketch. Okay. How to draw it, lamai? Hmm? Look at demand equation, lamai. It's 500 minus 10p. 500 is the intercept. Intercept mean, lamai, if you draw your demand curve, it will intersect quantity axis at 500. Then you can calculate maximum demand price by substituting 0. Maximum demand price. How to calculate maximum demand price, lamai? QD equals 500 minus 10p. Ayat means substitute 0 instead of QD, right? Then 500 minus 10p. Then simple equation 500 divided by 10 divided by 10, p equals lamai 50 rupees. This is the maximum demand price. Maximum demand price mean your demand curve touches price axis at maximum 50. Here 500. Then lamai look at your supply equation. Intercept is minus 100. It means lamai your supply curve intersects quantity axis at minus 100. Calculate minimum supply price. Minimum supply price. How to calculate minimum supply price? QS equal minus 100 plus 10p. Substitute 0 minus 100 plus 10p. Then 100 equals 10p divided by 10 divided by 10. P equals tamai 10 rupees. In supply curve intersects price axis. This is your supply. Okay, the lamai. Now you know the scales and everything. Then you can draw the curve properly. So I got Punara's one. Yeah, good Puta. Wonderful. Yeah, right. Yeah, good. Okay, the lamai. Then you can draw the curve. May ayat me this everything. Okay, everything, every theory point. I mean, videos of every theory point that we have discussed the classroom are available. Okay, if you go to LMS, right? Okay. Then my graph. Price axis, quantity axis 0. I'll label, sorry, mark price axis 10 by 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, and maximum 50. Quantity 100 by 100. 100. Same distance, 200, 300, 400, 500. Okay, the lamai. 50, 500. By connecting 50 and 500 lama, you can draw the demand curve. Is okay, the lamai. Supply curve starts at minus 100, minus 100, minimum supply price 10, mark the equilibrium price as well, like this. Then you can draw supply curve. Okay, the lamai. This is the equilibrium price. No, equilibrium price is 30, right? Sorry. So how much the equilibrium price is? 30 or? Yeah, 30, right? Not 20. Sorry.
30, sir.
30. And 200. Yeah, not 20. This is the graph. This is equilibrium, price and quantity. Right. Now I am not going to calculate consumer surplus and producer surplus. Okay, I'll right. Consumer surplus. This is the answer for third one. Consumer surplus equals my maximum demand price 50 minus equilibrium price 30 into equilibrium quantity 200 units divided by 2. Okay, lamai. Then it would be how much lamai? 2000 rupees, right? 1000. This is consumer surplus. Producer surplus equals equilibrium price 30 minus minimum supply price 10 into equilibrium quantity 200 divided by 2. Answer would be 1000. Okay, the lamai. Right. Sandhi, I haven't got your graph, Sandhi. Right. Next one, Lamai. Then government comes to the market imposing an unit tax of how much, Lamai? 10 rupees. Now government says, okay, producer. Now, if you sell one unit the market, you have to pay 10 rupees to the government. You have to pay 10 rupees to the government. Ayatmi, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take a screenshot if you need more time, then you can do it at home. Everything available, videos, right? You can take time and do it. Maybe, yes, allocate a specific time and watch recordings. If you have any doubt, let me know. No one can
Okay.
help you, Puta. Remember, forever, no one can help you. We can guide you. That's it. Okay. Doesn't matter. Forget the past, because I can remember when Punara came to the class, right? Then she had nothing, right? But slowly, I think she missed one or two classes, right? Slowly develop Lama. I can see a real progress in Punara side. Okay, like that you can develop yourself. Okay, the Lama. If you have any question, let me know anytime. Doesn't matter whether it's morning or night or right. Yeah, ready to help students. Lama. But the first initiative should come from your side. If not, it's impossible. You get the point? Right. Next question is Lamai. Assume that yes, then derive the supply equation after the unit tax. Lamai, supply equation after the tax. Simple. Now you know how to do it. Fourth question, part 1. How to do it, Lamai? Original supply equation is QSC equals minus 100 plus 10p. Now, Lamai, this equation changes a bit. Minus 100 plus 10 into price minus tax. QSC equals Lamai minus 100 plus 10 into P minus tax is 10 rupees. QSC equals minus 100 plus 10 into P, 10P plus minus minus 10 into 10, 100. Then QSC equals Lamai total minus 200 plus 10P. Okay, the lamai. This is the supply equation after the tax. Fourth question, part 1, part A. Fourth question, part A. Puta, look at the board for a while. I'll draw some new supply curve as well. Look at the board. Hey. Yes. Look at the board, lamai. I'll give you time. Look at the board. Yes. This is your new supply equation. Puta, how to draw the new supply curve? That's the important one. Your supply curve shift to the left side by unit tax. Unit tax is 10 rupees. It means your supply curve shift to the left side by unit tax. Look at the board, lamai. This is your new supply equation. Sigma, how much intercept is? New supply equation intercept.
Negative 200.
Negative minus 200 lamai. What does it mean, Puta? Your new supply equation, curve starts at minus 200. This is the starting point. Okay, the lamai. Look at the board. Puta, every point moves up by 10 rupees. Okay, so here price is 10. Then this price goes up by 10 rupees. Another 10 rupees. This means new price should be 20. Okay, the lamai. Every point, right? This one. Here the equilibrium 30. Then this point also moves up by 10 rupees lamai. Okay, then you can join these two points lamai. This is your this is the easiest way to draw new supply curve lamai. Okay, the lamai. If you have 2 points, you can draw the supply curve. Any doubt lamai? Sitma? Punara?
No, sir.
No. Remember, forever lamai, these two curves are parallel. These two curves are parallel. Sandil, did you get the point, Puta? Look at the equation minus 200. Which means your new supply equation starts at minus 200, then 1 of points. Then this 10, unit tax is 10 rupees. So this point moves up. It's coming to the point 20. Okay, the lama. If tax is 5 rupees, the point is moving up along the price axis by 5 rupees. Lama. Okay, the Sandil, Ayatmi, Punara. ඉක්මනට කියන්න දරු.
Yes.
ලිය. මට අයත්මි තමයි ෂුවර්ඩ් ඇත්තේ මම දන්නේ නැහැ පුතා වාට. පුළුවන් ද මැනේජ් කරගන්න ෂේප් නේද?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. අනේ නෑ සිත්ම තාම නෑ පුතා. මට තව පොඩි දවසක් දෙන්න මේ වීක් මේ මන්ත් එකේ මාර වැඩ ළමයි. මම කියන එක තේරෙනවා කරගන්න බැරි. The main reason was ළමයි now I am a father. Okay, the ළමයි. My baby was born 8th of August. Right? So that was horrible movement lamai because baby boy he got virus lamai right as very first day from hospital and then I think more than 8 days or 10 days right both mother and the baby at hospital then 18 today to yesterday no before day before yesterday they came to home lamai right so it's really tough actually this time period my last half and 1.5 months was really tough for me right I have been experienced so many difficulties number one was the accident then chikungunya lamai then third one is this story so otherwise definitely I'll check it give me few days lamai okay most probably next week by next week, I'll give marks to all of you, right? Okay. No. Yes. No, Lamai, not for your class. I couldn't give marks for 2027 batch also because they did, I think, paper. I think more than one your before your paper. Okay, right. Everything will be settled. Yes, yes. Congratulates me. Say congratulations. Now I'm a father. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Joke, Lamai. Right. Joke me not the being father. I mean, ask you to wish. Right. Mm, right. What is next one? Okay. Complete the question, Lamai. This graph, new one, and mark the equilibrium price and quantity. Mark the new equilibrium price and quantity. Where's the point, Lamai? Hmm? Okay, the Lamai. Right. Mark the new equilibrium price and quantity. The point where your new S curve and demand curve intersect. This is the new equilibrium price and quantity. Okay, the Lamai. Kuda, do you need more time for this graph? Equation plus new supply curve on your graph. No. Right. Sandil, Ayatmi, Sitma, Kunara.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay.
Done.
Done. Okay. Then can you, how much the new equilibrium price is, Lamai? Huh? Use your diagram to the design equilibrium price based on your according to our diagram. 35 and 150 units. Good. Yes. New equilibrium price should be 35 rupees, Lamai. Equilibrium price increases to 35, quantity falls to 150. But remember, Lamai, never trust your graph. Why? If graph is wrong, Lamai, your value is also maybe wrong, right? So trust your equations, Lamai. Remember forever, don't trust your graph, right? Then I'll show you how to calculate new equilibrium price and quantity. Look at the board, Lamai. New equilibrium price and quantity. New equilibrium price and quantity. Okay, the Lamai, right? Puta, how to calculate equilibrium? QD equal QS. Look at the board. This is the answer for third part. QD equals QS. Puta, here QD doesn't change. In UR level, demand curve is not changed by the imposition of unit tax, Lamai, right? So same demand equation, your demand equation equals, Lamai, QD equals 500 minus 10p. So you can substitute this equation as it is. 500 minus 10p. Puta, now you have new supply equation, right? What is our new original one, Lamai? Original supply equation, Punara? Here, this one, QS equals?
Minus 100 plus 10.
Yes, minus 100 plus 10p, good. But now, Lamai, supply equation has changed. New supply equation, Lamai, QS equals minus 200 plus 10. Now you need to substitute new supply equation. New supply equation, remember forever. If you want to calculate new equilibrium price, substitute new equation minus 200 plus 10p. Right now, same procedure, Lamai. 500 plus, this becomes plus 200 equals 10p plus 10p. Okay, the lamai. Then 10p equals 700 divided by, oh sorry, 20p ne the lamai, right? Divided by 20, divided by 20, p equals lamai 35 rupees. P equals 35 rupees. හරිද? මේ graph එක ගැන අවුලක් නැහැ ළමයි ගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි අර ටිකක් අමාරු graph එක එහෙම ගන්න බෑ ඔයාලට. තේරුණා? මේක නම් එනවා. ඒ හින්දා මේ graph මේ ඔය graph එක බලලා ගන්න එපා. හොඳේ? equation හැම වෙලාවෙම use කරන්න. right. Then ළමයි you can wait. Look at the board. This is equilibrium price. When calculating equilibrium quantity lamai, you can substitute this equilibrium price, new equilibrium price to either supply curve or demand equation. But my request is, my advice is to substitute demand equation. Lamai. Use demand because it has not changed lamai, because there are two supply curves. So it's better to use demand equation. It doesn't mean that you cannot use supply. No. Right? Demand 500 minus 10p. Then 500 minus 10 into new price is 35. 500 minus 10 into 35 means 350. Okay, the lamai. It's mean 150 units. 150. Okay, the lamai. Here, equilibrium, new equilibrium quantity is 150. Any doubt so far? Up to now? Any doubt, lamai? Tell me. Ayatmi, Sitma? No. Tanbil harida. Put අවුලක් නෑ නේද? Good, right, very good. ළමයි මම මෙච්චර අහන්නේ ඔයාලට බේසික් එක මේ බේසික් පොයින්ට්ස් ටික අහුන්නේ නැත්නම් ගණන් කරන්න බෑ ළමයි. කැල්කියුලේෂන් කරන්න බෑ ඔයාලට එපා වෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ. තේරුණාද? මම මේ ප්‍රශ්න එක විතරයි මෙහෙම අහන්නේ ළමයි හොඳේ. මම අහන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ පිට කරගෙන යනවා. මම ඔයා ළමයි ටික ඔක්කොම එකට අරන් යන්න ඕන හින්දා තමයි මෙච්චර අහන්නේ. හොඳේ නැත්නම් මේක පොඩි ගාණක් නේ ළමයි පොඩි කැල්කියුලේෂන් එකක් මේක. තේරුණාද? එහෙනම් වෙන වැඩ කරන්න එපා. ආගන්න කියන එක හොඳට. තේරුණාද? Right. What is next question, Lamai? Then calculation, equilibrium price and quantity of one is very good question, Lamai. Calculate the government tax revenue. Calculate government tax revenue. At the board, Lamai. This is the unit tax. Unit tax means producer has to pay 10 rupees on every product sold, each unit. Sigma, after tax, how many units are being sold at the market? How many units are being sold at the market after tax? Yes, 150 units. Yes. If one unit is sold, we have to pay 10 rupees. Right? Understand the logic. If we sell 2 units, we have to pay how much? 2 into 10 means 20 rupees to the government as tax revenue income, government tax as taxes. If 10 units are being sold, then 10 into 10. Here, lamai, after the unit tax, lamai, 150 units are being sold. Look at the board, lamai. I'm going to derive an equation, right? Okay, the lamai. Look at the board. 150 units are being sold. Okay, we have to pay 10 rupees for all these units, lamai. Then 150 into 10. Okay, the lamai. This is the total tax income goes to government. How much, Sitma? 1,500. Harida lamai. Most probably it would be in millions, lamai. Then, lamai, you can make your own equation for calculating government tax revenue. Government tax revenue equals Punara 150. Give me a name for 150. Hurry up. 150.
Quantity supplied after the tax.
Very good. Quantity supply after tax. Quantity, or we can say equilibrium quantity after tax. After tax. Sitma, give me one word for 10. What is mean by 10? What it is?
Tax.
Unit tax, Lamai. Then
Unit tax.
unit tax, very good. Then Lamai, you can calculate the government tax revenue using this equation. Lamai. What is the equation? Tax revenue equals equilibrium quantity after tax into unit tax. Lamai. Okay, then write the equation down and substitute values and final answer. Let me know once you are done. පුතා equation එක ලියන්න highlight කරන්න. Tax revenue equal total tax revenue equal equilibrium quantity after tax. අරකත් හරි පුනාලා හොඳේ. the quantity supply after tax. same. අවුලක් නැහැ. හැබැයි මේක ගොඩක් හොඳයි. equilibrium quantity after tax into tax. Okay, the lamai. Then 150 into 10, 1,500. Government can earn 1,500 million income from this tax lamai. Okay, the puta tax revenue. Okay, next one, calculate the actual price received by producers after the tax. Do you need more time, Lamai? Sitma? Ani puta ikmana kiyana. Sitma ayatmi punara?
No, sir. Done.
No. Sandin?
Done, sir.
Done. Good. Right. Next
Done,
one
sir.
is yeah. Next one is actual price received by producer. ළමයි හොඳට අහගන්න මේ point එක. හරිද? හොඳටම අහගන්න වෙන මොකුත් කරන්න එපා. හරි. Actual price received by producer. Actual price received by producer. අහගන්න. Right. ළමයි before unit tax. Before unit tax. Before unit tax. Before unit tax. How much the equilibrium price, Lamai? Tell me how much the equilibrium price is before unit tax. How much the equilibrium price? 30 rupees. What does it mean, Lamai? Understand this point, right? What does it mean? Consumer has to pay 30 rupees when purchasing one unit. Understand? Because equilibrium price is the price which is paid by consumer when purchasing goods and service. So before the unit tax, consumer is paying 30 rupees. Do you agree or not? Any doubt, Lamai? Puta price which is paid by consumer is represented by PB. What is mean by PB? Price paid by consumer. PB mean what? Price paid by consumer. Puta, normally consumer pays the equilibrium price when purchasing goods and services. Then Lamai, other side, there is another concept called PS Lamai. Look at the board, PS. Puta, PS mean actual price. Actual price received by producer. Okay, the Lamai. By selling one unit. Understand the point. Lamai, before the tax equilibrium price is 30, it means consumer has to pay 30 rupees to buy the product. Now, Lamai, assume Sitma comes and assume I'm the seller. Assume I'm the seller. Sitma is the buyer. Then Sitma comes and pay 30 rupees to me. Okay, then consumer the price which is paid by Sigma is PB is 30 rupees. Okay, the lamai. Then what Sigma pays directly comes to my side lamai. Okay, it means 30 rupees. I receive 30 rupees from Sigma. It's mean lamai PS also 30. What consumers pay directly goes to producer lamai without any disturbance. Understand? Before unit tax lamai, PB and PS are equal. No any difference. Did you get the point, lamai? If there is no government intervention, lamai, what consumers pay, right, directly goes to the producer without any, disturbance. But after tax, PB, PS. How much the new equilibrium price, Punara?
35.
35. What does it mean, Lamai? Consumer has to pay 35 rupees. Now consumer is not able to buy same unit at 30 rupees, Lamai. 5 rupees need to be paid additionally, Lamai. It's mean, Lamai, the consumer pays 35 rupees. This is PB. Lamai. Yes. Consumer comes and pay 35 rupees. Yes. Producer receives 35 rupees from consumer. But one part is looking at this transaction. Government says, I saw you selling one unit, okay, and you got 35 rupees, Lamai. What is the condition, Lamai? How much the unit tax is? 10 rupees. Government says, I saw you selling one unit to that consumer. Give me 10 minutes, sorry, 10 rupees, Lamai. 10 Lamai. Producer has to pay 10 rupees to the government out of 35. Producer receives 35 from consumer, but 35 cannot be kept. Understand? He cannot keep 35 as it is, Lamai. Because 10 rupees has to be paid to the government from the amount that producer receives, Lamai. So actual price received by producer is 25 rupees, Lamai. Then how to calculate PS, Lamai? PS equals, remember, actual price received by producer equals lamai price paid by consumer minus unit tax. Okay, the lamai. Write down actual price received by producer. Actual price received by producer. Write down. Question, I think part E the lamai. Mewat liyan, this one and this one. Write down actual price received by producer equals PB minus T. PB is 35 rupees minus tax is 10 rupees, Lamai. Then producer actually receives net value that producer receives is 25 rupees, Lamai. Understand? Okay, the Lamai. Then the next the point is, Lamai, you should be able to show this 35 rupees on your diagram, Lamai. Look at the board, Lamai. I'll give you time to write it down. Look at the board. Uta, this is PB 35. This distance, this height is 35. Then this 35 minus unit tax. Unit tax means this part. Okay, the line. Come down along this line until you touch your previous supply curve. Okay, the line. This is 25 rupees. This is called PS, lamai. This is PS, this is PB. The difference between PB and PS equals unit tax because gap between these two supply curves equals unit tax. Understand? Ask anything if you have. Yes. Is that why we made an equation for the quantity supplied QS equals A plus B minus? Good question, Punara. But I'll answer for this question after doing 2-3 questions lamai. Otherwise, you won't get the meaning. Okay. Actually, the I'll if I give the reason is lamai. The supplier expectation increases by unit tax. That's the reason. Minimum expectation increase in mean lamai, supply decreases. That's why the T is deducted. Right. Don't worry about that. I'll explain that point with a calculation. Do you need more time, Lamai? Yes.
No, sir.
No. Ayatmi,
That
No, sir.
Unara, Sandil.
Done, sir.
හරි. හරිද ළමයි ඔයාලට ෆ්ලෝ එක තේරෙනව නේද? ෂේප් නේද ළමයි? එතකොට ඔයාලට මෙන්න මේ ටික පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනද? New equilibrium price, calculating new equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity, government tax revenue and actual price received by producer. පුතා ඔයා graph එකෙත් පෙන්නන්න මේ actual price received by producer. ඔයාගේ අර equilibrium point එක තියෙන අලුත් එක එකෙන් පහලට යන්න. හරිද? Until you touch the previous supply curve. හරි ඒකල එතනින් price axis එක පැත්තට එතකොට ඔයාලට 25 වලින් තමයි touch වෙන්නේ. මේක තමයි PS. හරිද ළමයි? පටල ගන්න එපා. මොනවාරි doubt එකක් තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න. හරි නේද? Right. Okay ළමයි. Two more questions. Other one is ළමයි debt weight loss and consumer surplus, producer surplus after tax. That's it. Consumer surplus, producer surplus after tax. Consumer surplus, producer surplus after tax. Consumer surplus, producer surplus. No. Put this is enough. Okay. We'll practice say more question. Right. For calculating equilibrium price quantity. I mean, what we have covered so far. If I do consumer surplus and producer surplus and debt weight loss, then you will get confused. Okay, so I think it's better to practice one or two questions. Okay, then we can move into consumer surplus, producer surplus and debt weight. Okay, the lamai. Then lamai, the problem is tomorrow you have class. I want you to complete. Puta, not forget. I'll do this. Look at the board. Yes. I have completed up to part E. F and G, yes, you should know that part, compulsory part, but it's better to do after completing few questions. Okay, right. Then example number 2. Puta, give a try at home. Up to which point? Up to F and up to E. Okay, right. Try to complete at least example number 2 by tomorrow. Okay, the lamai. At least one. Okay, at least one graph and the same points that we have done today. Any doubts so far, lamai? This is the flow. This is the points that you should know. Lamai, in your level, we discuss indirect taxes. Indirect taxes are imposed on goods and services. There are two types of indirect taxes: unit tax and ad valorem tax. Unit tax is imposed on a one unit, which is sold or produced. Ad valorem tax is a percentage of total sales value, but it's not discussed in your level in detail. Then lamai, after imposition of unit tax, remember your supply curve shift to the left side by unit tax. Understand the point? By unit tax. Okay. Then lamai, when shifted your supply curve to the left side, new equilibrium price and new equilibrium quantity appear at the market. Okay, normally the new equilibrium price is greater than original equilibrium price. But remember, Lama, it's not. I mean, there are some certain situations where equilibrium price doesn't increase, Lama. These are exceptional points. I'll explain later on. But usually, after the unit tax, Lama, your equilibrium price rises. Okay, the Lamai. Then Lamai, you should be able to derive the new supply equation and some calculation, special equilibrium price quantity, government tax revenue, and actual price received by producer. හරිද? ඔය ටික පුළුවන් නම් ෂේප්. හරිද? ළමයි දැන් මේක නිහෙම නිකන් දාලා ඉන්න එපා. පොඩ්ඩක් හරි නෝට් එක බලන් ඉන්න. මම වීඩියෝ එකක් දැම්මම දානවා. තේරුණාද? ක්ලාස් එකට එන්න වැඩ කරන්න ළමයි නැත්නම් මෙතනින් ඔයාලට මේ ටික අල්ලන්න බැරි වෙයි අමාරුයි ළමයි මෙතනින්. තේරුණාද? තේරෙන්නේ අරක මෙතෙන් එනකම් මොනවා හරි කරගන්න පුළුවන් ළමයි. තේරුණාද? ඇත්ත කතා කරන්න එපයි ළමයි. බොරුවට වාවනලවල වැඩක් නැහැ නේ මට. ඉන්න ළමයි මරු මේක හරි එහෙම වැඩක් නැහැ ළමයි. තේරුණාද? ඒක කටපාඩම් කරන්නේ නැතුව මේක හරියට දෙයක් කරගන්න නම් ඔයාලට වැඩ කරන්නම වෙනවා අයත් මේ. තේරුණාද? මේ හරිද? ඒ හින්දා මේ ටිකටම ක්ලාස් එන වැඩ කරන්න ළමයි. හරිද? කියන වැඩ ටික හරියට කරන්න. එතකොට කලින් ඒවා වගේ නම් මෙතනින් එහාට කරන්න බෑ. මේ පාර්ට් එක අමාරුයි ළමයි. ඊට පස්සේ ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් කොස්ට් තියෙන එකත් එහෙමයි. හරිද? ඊට පස්සේ මැක්‍රෝ පාර්ට් එක national accounting equilibrium 13 කියන්නේ කොහොමත් අමාරුයි ළමයි. තේරුණාද? ඔයා බය කරනව නෙමෙයි. මේක තමයි හැටි. හැබැයි ඔයා මේක හරියට අල්ලගත්තොත් ළමයි ගොඩම තමයි. තේරුණාද? ඔයාට හරියට කරගන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද ළමයි? Right. Okay, that's enough today. See you on. Bye ළමයි. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Record.